I'm Ann Reyes-Frazee. I have the pleasure of being the librarian here at Franklin High School. I can say confidently that we have the most beautiful library in Portland. It's just a fact. We have a wonderful lineup for you today. I have an incredible student MC, so I will be talking much less, which is just fine with me. We have an incredible house band who will be introducing as well. Thank you for being here, house band. Libraries in PPS make programs like these possible, and our libraries are in trouble. We're seeing staffing cuts across the city. If you want to see more activities like this at every level, K through 12, please advocate for sustainable funding for Oregon schools. Talk to our school board, talk to your administrators, tell them how important libraries are to you, because they are. Libraries do this work. Without library staff, it's kind of just a room with books, and well, without staff and students, of course, it's just kind of like a box with books in it. So, library assistants, librarians, textbook clerks, the whole gang, we got to have them to make stuff work in libraries. Anyway, I'm no poet. Segueing into our wonderful program tonight. Thank you for supporting this vital art in our community. I'm going to introduce you to our MC, Jessie Miller. And once more, thank you for taking the time out of your day to support our Franklin High School students and the work that they have put into this incredible program. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Frazee. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessie Miller. My pronouns are he, they, and I am welcoming you to the 12th Annual Poetry Slam tonight. Whichever. Anyways, we have a wonderful lineup of poets tonight, and I'm really excited to hear some work of my friends that are here performing. Can we give it up for them? All right, we're just gonna thank Culinary for bringing the food here, right? And thank you to our wonderful house band for playing some too. And thank you to the PTSA for putting this on. And of course, our wonderful judges on the side here. Okay, so I'm the MC, you already know that. Yeah, snacks and drinks are on the side over there. We will have an intermission between rounds 1 and 2 that you can go and get a beverage or get a little snack. We have cookies. So if that's not intriguing, I don't know what is. All right, so round 1 is gonna be all of these slam participants. Order is chosen randomly. I have the secret little list here. We have an intermission with music by The Real Book, our house band. And then we have snacks and drinks, I already mentioned. Round 2 is top contestants. Compete for 2 Verslandia slots. And the winners will be announced and we will close. That's basically the rundown. Sounds good? Yeah. All right. Special announcement, we have a citywide poetry slam on April 25th. Ms. Frazee has free tickets to anyone interested. So that's gonna be amazing. I mean, I might go. So, and yeah, here's a little thank you list. I kind of went over some of these, but yeah, Real Book House Band, Pam Garrett, Brian Dykeman, Desi Wolf-Myron, Faculty Advisors, Desmond Spann, Workshop Support, Dylan Cohen, and Caroline Dishman, math geniuses. Me, of course, and Frazee, our librarian, Chris Hamilton, library assistant, Brad Orlando, sound and snacks, and PTSA. Okay, the rules. This is very important. Each poem must be an original created by the poet. Each poet has 3 minutes, plus a 1-minute grace period to recite their poem. If the poet goes over the 4-minute time, one full point will be deducted from the final score. A warning timer will be rung at 2 minutes. The poet may not use props, costumes, or musical instruments. All right, and here's our quick trigger warning to anybody in the crowd tonight. Poetry does have some emotional content, so trigger warning, some poems may contain mature content that may feature upsetting topics. Okay, and now to introduce our panel of judges. Can we get a round of applause? All right, we have Anjanae Bryant. Her pronouns are she, her, and her favorite Portland hangout spot is walking along Hawthorne in the summer, followed by dinner at 3 Doors Down. Our next judge is Deb Miller Landau. Her pronouns are she, her. And her favorite Portland hangout spot is Powell's. Fitting. I love that. Next judge is Ben Morgan. And his favorite Portland hangout spot is Belmont Books. All right, and we have Latoya A. Hampton, aka the Poet Lady Rose. Their pronouns are she, they, and they love to discover and patronize tasty vegan restaurants. A couple of her favorites are Mestizos and Kate's Ice Cream. And we can't forget about Chris Frazier. I mean, come on now. Former Franklin principal. We miss him so much. All right, and that's our judges. Iris is distracting me up here. All right, and our participants tonight, we have our sacrificial poet. You're probably like, what does that mean? Are we sacrificing Julia tonight? That would not be good. That just means that she won't be scored, so. And we'll get the full list as we go on. So, thank you. All right, and then we go to the list. Yes. So,
Julia's first.
yes, that is right. Okay. First on our list is our sacrificial poet, Julia Dixon, senior.
Yeah, how do I adjust yes, that feels good. Thank you. Okay. Hi, I am Julia Dixon, and I will be performing the poem Lucid Dreaming by me. I'm sitting in class when I suddenly notice the edges of my paper blurring in and out of focus. I look around the room, and to my delight, everything looks normal-ish, but not quite right. Grinning, I swiftly spring up from my chair and skip to the front of the class without a care. I laugh and spin in circles, screaming, "Nothing is real!" And as everyone stares back at me like, what is her deal? And it's frightening at first, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if I'm wrong? What if this is real life and all of these faces I see are real people judging and glaring at me? But I push that thought aside. I have no time to waste. It's just a matter of time before I'll be awake, So I do a quick shoulder roll because they're great, and sure enough, my eyes open up to a familiar, messy room. I roll out of bed, grab my alarm, and hit snooze. I try on 3 different shirts, but I go with a sweater because I don't like my arms, not because of the weather. And I miss it, that feeling I used to feel, where everything felt possible because nothing was real. But then it occurs to me, what if it's all in our perspective? What if reality can be subjective? And I just need to be more perceptive and create new objectives. Maybe that could be effective. Because, like a dream, each chapter of life is temporary, and many things are possible just out of the ordinary. So for this last year of high school, I'm living free. I'm seizing every moment and singing in the street. I want to perform poems that are imperfect but complete. I want to take risks, to learn and make progress, to care with all my heart, but stop tearing myself apart in the process. I'll take life less seriously. I'll stop rhyming toward the end of a poem just to know what that feels like. I'll go for walks in the sun, then I'll run and grab a cone of ice cream, and I'll live every day like it's a lucid dream.
All right, do the math geniuses need more time? Are we good? Okay, we're ready to move on. Thank you, Julia. All right, our first poet to be judged tonight is going to be Emma Airbar. Their pronouns are she, they, and their favorite animal is a Siamese cat. And yes, she has met one.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, just keep going and stop. Okay. All right. Oh, mic's off. Wait, what? Wait, how do I? Oh, here we go.
Hello. Okay, my name is Emma, and I'm going to be presenting a poem I wrote in my English class called Heritage. All right. I am the result of stolen time, a beacon of hope that everyone clings to, a love of my heritage that takes place, fighting rebellions, chasing society, plagued with crime. I am the result of 2 pigments enshrouding my differences, a hard-working mom, a protective dad. I am the result of power, strength, aid, marking paths of differences in blood, and holding scars of gender leathered deep with mud. I am not the result of weakness and fragility. I am the language of class and agility. I am not the boss, the siren, the temptress. I am the result of feminism, not the one who cares for marriage or jealousy or the thing that you paid for. I am the result of justice that ignores segregated stereotypes, who witnesses the shame of different pigments, who sees the painful discrimination of their sex or passion, old fences displaying fired bones, putting the past behind, looking to a promised future, changing history, healing wounds, looking for a promised land. I am the result of revolution and consequence. I am not unspoken. I am the result of freedom and liberty. I am grandeur,
I am history. I am not the result of an unmistaken battle. I am the result of fine hair and universe, the fighter, the warrior, the muse, the verse, walking through a path of veins, treading through a silk road. I am the moment, the census, the pride, diving into a world of modesty, carved into a ceramic mold, falling behind the curse of society's forgotten code. I am the result of the past. I am not the result of temptation. I am the result of redemption. I am not the result of despair or war. I am the mask of honor and exception. The one who creates, objects, defends, in body and spirit that can change and restore. We are not the mistake, the challenge, the battle. We are the passion, the light, the capsule. We are obedience. We are strength. We are power. We are your result.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave the mic right here so it's easier. All right, our next poet is Connor Tucker Santos. Perfect. His pronouns are he, him, and his favorite animal is a red panda, and he has met one. That's amazing.
Hello. This is called Healing Wounds. I open my eyes and deplore what I'm seeing. Patches of green slowly fading. Bears and bunnies, tigers and spiders, looking at what was once home, now a forest fire. We came up with this brilliant idea of deforestation. We dumped plastic in the ocean thinking that's a solution, and look where it left us. I close my eyes and explore what I'm seeing. Patches of sunlight glistening in the trees. Wolves and deers, birds and monkeys, you can almost hear them sing a song that is a dream, a song that is yet to be sung. That one day, when roots aren't grown from insatiable desires, they can breathe from the cracks weathered by storms of society. I hope that one day I can open my eyes and adore what I'm seeing, what I'm breathing, what I'm experiencing. I hope to be Dr. Dolittle, talking to animals as if we were friends, as if everyone could be Jane Goodall, as I hope to be, to stop the malicious predators that scar the world, stripping the skin off animals till all they are is a wound in the world. I hope to be a band-aid for the world, healing its wounds, and when I take it off, the world can breathe. But only for a second, and then your dreams, your wishes, your happiness, your beauty will go away. So now, I hope to not be confused. I heal the world of one of its wounds so it can breathe and live, so we can breathe and live. Yeah, you bite the hand that feeds you. I don't understand how one can be so blinded. But now I realize, I dreamed, I healed a wound, but more just keep coming, and now I realize that so many of us can only see shades of gray. But in the future, I hope that won't be the case. I hope in the future, I will make change. I am someone with a cherished aspiration, an intention, a goal to be. I am someone who has a dream. In my future, I want to travel the world, looking at the abundance of animals and trees, seeing the beauty and life and everything in between. That when I come back, people can look through my eyes and see what I was seeing. The feeling of abrupt happiness can fill their lungs, their dreams. That when they enter the world, they're able to lift their wings and see the beauty the world brings. Thank you.
Okay, our next poet is Eve Thompson. Their pronouns are she, they, and their favorite animal is cats.
She says I'm not acting normal. Is it on? Okay. She says I'm not acting normal and she whispers my name in candlelight. I walk by. I walk on by, screaming of blue hair and devil worship, screaming of the chorus of my foundation, while I have hers in my palm, squished like a puppy. I pluck her strings to no ease, looking for a new noise to scream to. She says she misses me. She says she loves me. I grip her hair with a Herculean strength because all my words are fresh off my tongue, because I love to love. I love to get hurt because this isn't healthy. She asks how I'm doing. She screams my name in daylight. I look down the river that leads to her house. I walk down the sun towards her like a vampire, searching for blood, searching for her, searching for her arms. She says she has a girlfriend now, and she draws my face in blue hour light. True blood and placebo, something that no human could invent, lurks down the alleyways, crawling past me, kissing my cheek goodbye, kissing the day away, kissing me a new journal entry, kissing me an out, and this isn't healthy. She says hello, she calls for me in her sleep. Sapphire waves in deep breaths, I need you, I say. She looks away, she walks away. I walk on by, my tears fall like jewels, diamonds that you collect and trade with your friends. She stares, she puts her head on my shoulder. I scream for her at night, I call for her in the daylight, I crawl over rivers and scream over mountains. I whisper her name. I fall at her feet and dance around her. Wavy violin, 77 years until I lose my faith. Let me be your skirt, let me be your sky. I bow to her feet and salute. I deny my passion. I have a girlfriend. And I ask a guy out, move pieces like a grandmaster, and I fall to her feet. Yet she still says I'm not acting normal, and she whispers my name in candlelight.
You guys are doing great. Our next poet is Ava Anderson. Her pronouns are she, they, and her favorite animal is otters.
He follows her with a stumble, a limp-like saunter and an uncadenced sway. What's your name, what's your name, what's your name, little girl? He repeats, In mumbles and pleas he's insisting, what's your name, what's your name, what's your name, sweet thing? In falsity they meet, as she lies but he doesn't retreat, approaching hastily, a scramble for her keys, one click in quickly, ignore the burning red of her thighs on the leather summer seats and his cyanide smear contradicting drear. What's your name, what's your name, what's your name? It's just a name, little girl. As she backs out, her stomach gurls, a guilty feeling accompanied by words repeating, you're scolding, don't assume the worst. It's just a name on an open door. Not all men want more than the name of a sweet, sweet little girl. And not all men are distracted by the shoulders of the 13-year-old they teach. Not all men slip drugs into drinks or yell at you on the street, making middle schoolers compare stories of the first time they were catcalled, and little girls feel guilty for not getting the attention they're supposed to yearn for. Not all men have intentions to hide. Some of them are really nice guys. Don't generalize. Give them a chance. You don't know in advance if their intentions are deceitful. Not all men are lethal. Don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it. Don't resist. Admit it. You like the attention. Not all men, you tell her. But be wary, because some of them that feel guilty because you don't know this one. Your not all men has been reverberating, bouncing off the corners of her skeleton, warm, wet, nauseous dread traveling up into her head for a long time. Seeping into the crevices of her mind like warm, sweet honey in a hive. But don't worry, her anger isn't buzzing like those bees, because that's not ladylike, not pristine, not pretty, not agreeable, not soft and clean. Have you noticed your Etch-a-Sketch mold resembles infancy? It's a screeching symphony of contradicting melodies. Act like a girl, but like a girl was never what you wanted to be. Not all men is true enough. There is no calling bluff. Not all men protect the ones that are. And not all men deny her reply. Not all men are full of lies, and not all men don't believe her. When she says she'd rather date a girl, not all men try to fix her. Don't worry, she's not angry anymore. Don't worry, I'm not angry anymore. Apathy set in more than before. Not all men is true enough. There is no calling bluff, but wariness is reasonable. And if you don't think so, then let's play a game of Russian roulette. Not all cases hold a bullet, but some of them do, and it's your fault if you get shot too. So wouldn't you be a little wary?
Okay, our next poet is Ebo Kaplan. And a fun fact about her is that she was born in Hawaii and she's also Filipino.
Birth parents. Birth parents, just why? We could have been a family. We could have. But at the end of the day, we could never. I don't remember your faces, and I don't even remember if we talked. You are my birth parents, and now you are nothing. You guys were always trouble, and frequently getting sent to jail. You guys had major issues. You guys had drinking problems. You guys shoplifted. You guys did illegal drugs and just couldn't take care of yourselves. If it weren't for you both, I wouldn't have been born. Me and any of your other birth kids would cease to exist. Because you couldn't take care of yourselves, me and every other birth kid you've ever had were put into foster care. Some of us got adopted to related families, and some not. With that, my birth mama had 8 kids. One tragically died, and I never got to know it. 2 are now in college, 2 are in high school. 3 are still young and in elementary school. Do you see how time flies when you're young?
and your birth kids are sweet, precious, and young. And now we're different and grown, yet our bond remains our own, and our woven memories are only we've known.
All right, our next poet is Iris Gray. We're trying not to cheat her, and she's a senior.
My favorite animal is a jellyfish, if anyone was wondering. Is that an option? I swear I filled that out. Okay.
I have a friend who believes that the moon beckons our water-filled bodies with a tide, defining our lives with the movement of the stars. It's called astrology. When we were 15, I called out into the cosmic roar, "What's the meaning?" and received no answer. I was a rational being, sprawled before the most irrational of masters. So she read me my horoscope, and I created frameworks to live by. Growing up, I had no God, so I sang obedience to anything that would listen. In school, I was a piston, a tattletale, and a pet that kept the system's wheels spinning. I could run on nothing but politeness and praise, because the worst thing in the world was falling straight from the path of what I was expected to become. But loving anyone requires living outside the lines. Politeness didn't make me good, just contrived. My friend lives every second radically aware of what it means to be alive. She carries overwhelming joy in a pink handbag and the overwhelming knowledge of this world's constant destination of death. She acknowledges every breath and never bothers to keep them contained. So when she forgets where she put that pink handbag, she needs someone with overwhelming joy in their bone marrow, whose femur for her they will hollow. And it felt like swallowing a stone fruit pit to find the courage to admit, if only to myself, that I was so unequipped, that my bones are brittle with inexperience, that when she was locking away her hurt, the closest thing I had to a key was a pair of pliers. And if knowing the depth of her distress, the echo of the sorrow exploring her chest, meant processing words forced through her teeth, it wasn't worth it. It was not knowledge my 15-year-old self wanted to keep. So I laughed when she said she was praying for mania. I feigned strength, but when I opened my limbs, the only holding they could do was at arm's length. We blamed her sadness on the moon and Mars instead of the far-reaching distance between the desires of the body and the world of money and hierarchy and cars. We said we were wise for our age, but really we had just honed in on an undercurrent of rage that had already been pushed down by our mothers and ignored by our fathers. We said we could be the change, but she was so far ahead of me on the world stage, had let go of shame, and I was clinging to it. She was that big moon, and she was beckoning me, but I was fused to some fisherman's buoy waiting in the waters of expectation, seasick with trepidation, knowing that when the sun rose, I would still be there, and that big moon would slip away and leave the sky dim, and a fisherman dragging me into his boat would not tell me I was smart, would not praise my ability to stay afloat, but ask me why I had chosen to coat myself in a current that kept dragging me under, that this was some great plunder, because the moon was showing me her tender mind, wild and wise, and wishing that I would do the same. Our next poet is Juniper Israel Davis. They use any pronouns, and they are a big fan of corvids. Not sure what that is, if you want to explain.
A corvid is a species of bird. It includes crows and ravens and other things. Magpies, I don't remember everything else. There's jays.
Corvids are the best.
The second law of thermodynamics states that heat always flows spontaneously from hotter to colder regions. The second stage of grief is anger. A second is a very short amount of time. If you left a body completely to rest, you could calculate when not even bone would remain using the second law of thermodynamics. You may, however, be too angry to leave the body to rest because you are experiencing the second stage of grief. A second is not enough time to do much of anything. When considering death, thermodynamics becomes a comforting scientific crutch. From the moment one is born, one's body does its best to reach a state of thermodynamic equilibrium with the universe, as all things do. To know this helps prevent the second stage of grief. It is hard to be angry when a loved one gave the universe life just by living. They gave seconds to the universe, and the universe gave them all it could. When considering grief, it may be helpful to be angry. Anger is the emotion of heat, of scratching, raging screams, and as heat, under the second law of thermodynamics, it will spontaneously seek the cold. Anger gives way to bargaining, the gates before depression, a sort of emotional equilibrium before destabilization. Grief is much more than seconds. It is a lifetime. When considering life, the seconds begin to tick away. The first second goes, hot becomes cold, cold becomes hot, all become numb. The second goes, all begin to rage against time, all begin to rage against decay, all begin to bargain for more. The third second goes, then the fourth, then the fifth, then the sixth. When considering seconds, it is a third and a fifth that come to mind. The third law of thermodynamics states that a system's entropy approaches a constant value as the system's temperature approaches absolute zero. And I actually don't know what the hell that means. The fifth stage of grief is acceptance. Who cares if we're gonna die? We already knew that. To live is to die. You don't need someone in a lab coat to tell you that. A second is a very short amount of time. Seconds are very short. Life is perhaps the longest.
All right, our next poet is Luce Wolmut. They use they, them pronouns, and their favorite animal is a ferret.
My poem is called I Hate You. I hate you. I hate how you started going to my bus stop because of me. That every intention, every move you made was to get closer to me. I hope you don't take my buses anymore. I don't even want a chance of running into you. I hate you. I hate how you looked at me, talked about me like I was yours. You wanted to be the love interest of my story, and in doing so, you just made yourself out to be the villain who watched the side, jealous as you watched the real love interest make me happier than you ever did. I hope you were better knowing the bars on the floor and they cleared it all the way to the stratosphere. I hate you. I hate how you made it so I can't download an app because it was all you'd ever call me on. How your calls lasted for hours, only for my phone to start buzzing again 30 minutes later. How I was always expecting that buzz to the point where I didn't do things spontaneously. Didn't do anything without telling you, just in case you buzzed. I hope you don't call anyone anymore. I hate you. I hate how it was all about you, your interests, your problems. How if I tried to bring up something I liked, the topic was switched. How even if I was tired, you got to cry to me. How you didn't know what TMI meant. How any time I tried to call you out kindly, you were suddenly this poor, mentally ill child who didn't know better. I hope you get interrupted now, that people cry to you, that they make excuses for it. I hate you. I hate how spending money on you was never my choice. You asked for things daily, got upset when I said no, found some reason why I was the villain if, God forbid, I didn't want to spend $30 on you. I hope you realize you won't be given things and you need to work for it like I did. I hate you. I hate the jokes you made, how your humor came from the most offensive shows known to mankind, how I was too much of a people pleaser to speak up. I hope someone called you out, maybe even called you a bitch because of it. I hate you. You can imply I must have been on drugs to leave you, but I was the most sober I've ever been. You can find my social media account with a new account 2 weeks later, and I'll block you again because I hate you and I hate what you put me through. There are 5 stages of grief, and I'm stuck on anger. And as mean as it sounds, I hope this poem reaches your ears, because no matter how much I used to deny it, you are a bad person. And I hate you.
Our next poet is Madeline Diaz. Her and her favorite animal is dolphins.
All right. Follow my crochet temperature blanket progress, 1 row for every day of 2023 to see how the weather changes. January 1st, banging party poppers, bright red streamers, hopeful resolutions, 40 degrees. January 2nd, 43 degrees. January 3rd, the return to notebooks, ringing bells, and social lunches with renewed motivation, 42 degrees. 45, 47, 43. February 14th, Cupid's Day, brings fervent affection to teens worldwide, 51 degrees. February 23rd, 34 degrees, 35, 43. March 5th, 48, 49. Monotony is omnipresent. March 9th, hushed voices, rising panic, hidden children, it's not a drill, 43 degrees. March 21st, a full football field, hacky sacks are flying, screams of laughter. Sunglasses have been equipped and shorts are on, 62 degrees. March 31st, 50 degrees, I got pregnant. April Fools, 49 degrees. 55, 58, 66, 76, 86, May 2nd, hearts take painful beats, relationships in peril, but I'm celebratory, 64 degrees. Broken pencils, herds of AP headaches, 66 degrees. May 18th, the fruition of my affection, 83 degrees. 73, 84. June 7th, another year of life. I cried, 85 degrees. Hurting 7-year-olds, cleaning spilled milk, wheels crunching on pebbles, 75 degrees on the 20th of June. 82 degrees, 86 degrees. July 4th, blinding sparklers, 94, 80,000 deafening screams, giddiness to the point of delusion, a Taylor Swift concert, 81 degrees. July 30th, 80 degrees. August 4th, exhaustion nearing 87, falling behind 10 rows in 1 day, August 14th. The cauldron in the sky unleashes unyielding heat, will we ever recover, 106 degrees. August 22nd, we recovered, 75 degrees. August 26th, first day at Domino's, 91. The early morning sky remains sunriseless, 70 degrees. August 29th, First of the last, 74 degrees. 65, 88, 63, 75, October 5th, a poke to prevent predicaments, 77, October 11th, 62. Carving into squash flesh, nationally cosplaying, sweet, sweet stomach aches, 60 degrees. November 1st, we lose ourselves. Local ships left in limbo without direction. December 1st, it's like nothing happened. 47 on the 8th, 51 on the 12th, 50 on the 16th, last day at Domino's. 46 on the 22nd, 45 on the 30th, shows and cookies, nutcrackers and gifts, presents and kids, joy and boredom. It's 44 degrees on the 31st of December. A completed blanket, a completed year.
Our next poet is Aiden. His pronouns are he, him, and he doesn't have a favorite animal. Apologies, I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. Fun fact, he has a skin tag he named Patrick when he was younger.
So mad if they did not mention Patrick. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Good. I was worried this was going to make me really short or something. This is my year result poem. I had nothing else good enough to go along with it, so I picked this out. Year result poem. The brick crumbles, a tick shuffles. I am the result of depravity. I am a result, a resolution unfinished, undone, salvation yet to come. How'd they ever get along? Was I only to bind them to new beginnings, to greater evil? Regardless, they bickered, and I am no result of anyone. I am the result of my soul, watching, standing as the child I killed, and I blame my blood. I watched as neglect ensued, letting grief protrude. Self-consciousness, it seeped through, leading to life rivaling essence. Needles, lances, knives, and pins, stabbing with omnipresence. Grief returns, the roommate allures. Will I take this to my nameless grave, or will I fight for my dominant hand? It won't be true, I always knew, for I am stricken down, and I must force a frown. No, a smile. Gosh, turn down the freaking dial. Overwhelming, mind-bending. All of my everywhere is scattered across nowhere. The roommate crippled, my hairs tickled. Revolting, cacophonous. Epiphany of death. I'm the result. I'm what came to be. Need I die tomorrow or today? My dying thoughts may be a life lived well. I only ponder for what is beyond the veil.
Our next poet is Perseus Flint. His pronouns are he, him, and his favorite animal is a whale.
Oh, nice.
I don't really have a favorite animal. I mean, you can't go wrong with like the biggest one. From dawn to dusk, I feast my eyes upon my world's own ceaseless prize. The sky, the sea, the cry, the tree, a crowd swaying bodily, knee to knee. These blessings include, among yet more others, the crown a bit, down a bit, tap for tit brothers, whose love for each other I cannot surmise, but I can spoil a little surprise. At the end of your life, you'll finally see a glittering promise of death there be. Death, death for which countless cease, death which reigns the most burdensome beast. Herding cats is no trial for our beloved and utmost vile. Death, our love is yours, for you make beauty worthwhile. Worth a while, worth a mile, those beautiful brothers. They cajole and crump erstwhile death smothers. Countless, countless die while they sway and sing and sigh. They jump and play and trick and pray for what is there to do. They laugh and lump and flip and plump, for how could they come to the conclusion that I show for free that death awaits even thee. It loves you, so it takes away the brothers, the laughs, the sorrows. Hooray! Their mortal bodies will succumb, have no ideas of what's to come, and soon the little gnats will see death patiently comes for thee. The brothers are dead, their bodies dirt. No feelings of love, no feelings of hurt. Time works wonders for all those it plunders. Life is a symphony arranged by the mortal tree, so soon your faithful eyes can see death will come for you and for me.
The next poet is Siddhartha Woodard. His pronouns are he, him, and his favorite animal is the two bunnies that his friend has.
Go sit. We're gonna slide.
This is Palm Sweaty. I hate speaking in front of people. I get so nervous, shaking and quaking, even if I'm not panicking, my hands are dripping and soaking the page. I stumble on the next couple lines, and the first thing that comes to mind is knees weak, arms are heavy, but I didn't have a mama and I don't like spaghetti. So pull the curtains and get ready for this grand performance. I'm glad to inform you of every thought I feel the need to voice and share to a group of people who really care about every word that grips the page, staining the sheet never to bleed from the minds that read it. But I just can't pick what words and what verbs fit together to make the connection between people like the poets who are there and up front, know the stage in their lives without failure. I get up there and forget I'm not an audience member anymore. You hear from my writing what I have to say, but I get scared and take a step back, get on the reverse track and forget that. Pause, mumble my words so they can't be heard, because the imperfections sound perfectly precious until you read them to a room full of people. So go back, rewrite, and do it again until you're satisfied. Engrave your words deep, speak them loud and bold until that room full of people is filled with pride. For now I deal with retries. So crank the speaker, I don't want to feel my feet in, I'm too nervous, shaking and quaking, too scared to look up and face the faces, let alone the teacher. Because I got stories from A to Z to be put into words so they can all be heard, but my life was a little too tragic for school and a little too comfortable for poets. So I'm stuck with this in-between icebreaker, but just for me, because y'all got this figured out and I'm still stuck gripping my paper. Afraid to stutter and stumble over a couple words that mean just a little too much, something heavy with context, but my voice started to rattle a little and I switched the first letters of the first and second line. Suddenly I can't hear every other word because I'm stuck 3 verses behind and I have to keep reading because the show must go on. Or maybe I'll get confident in my expression and it'll be the filler lines that stay clutched. Something that meant nothing other than it conveniently rhymed and somebody gets caught on it like an English teacher in blue curtains. But hear me when I say I want all of this to resonate. I know my words hold power, but they have so much more with a voice to be heard. I just need to let it flower. I may be shaking and have my thoughts racing, but these words were made for more than just paper, to be heard from the source. So I'll stand before you anyway and voice every thought and feeling I feel the need to share. I do this for the sake of sharing my work. I want my words to be heard and to be remembered and retold, written down and reread. I want something I say to stick to someone who couldn't find a way to say it. I want to know how to present myself and what I've done because it's half the process of creation and entirely the process of change.
This is very short now. Okay. No, it's Our next poet is Ziyan Fang. They use any pronouns, and their favorite animal is a duck.
Waking up in the morning, waking up in the middle of the night, waking up in an unfamiliar place. I wake up, I sleep. I wake up, I sleep. Waking up is a restart of every day. Waking up to the fresh new you. Excited, but scared of waking up. Maybe everything gets better, or everything gets worse. Or perhaps we won't wake up. I wake up at this unfamiliar place. Who knows? The two shadows made out of candy cotton knocked on the door and I'm committed to a chase at a crossroad between death and death. I fell in the deep void beneath. Then I wake up. Tick tock. The time flows. Clocks is ticking down like a non-active bomb. Boom. My alarm is ringing. Waking up with that rush of energy and that sudden heart attack, everything is a mess. First step out the door is Saturday. Thank you for listening.
Okay, our next poet is Jude Wayland. Maybe. No. Not here? Okay, moving on. So next is Liliana Jacobson. Her pronouns are she, her.
I like hyenas. They're pretty cool.
This poem is called What Do You Want to Be When You Grow Up? And it's by me. What do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. I guess I want to be alive? No. I mean like a job. What do you mean, I want to dig into the dying corpse of the earth and give her life so maybe humans will have a chance. I want to open the jewelry box that is the human mind and study it meticulously, estimating the price of each of the treasures inside. I want to drive into the darkest place of the earth and fall into the deepest hole so I can see all the stars in the sky and paint the view with the most unreal, unfathomable new colors. I want to tear the sky open with my own paint-chipped fingernails and see the cosmos fall out like a jar of glitter, my jar of glitter that I kept under my table, which I had spilled into my long, sun-bleached blonde hair. Someday, I want to be the person I dream to be. The girl in my dreams, less person and more dream, less human and more idea, a concept that I came up with and made into a Pinterest board in my free time, because her herself is so unreal. Someone who can ask for what she needs. She's not afraid to show joy, she's not afraid to show sorrow. Her mind swings like music, her body bends like nature, and she's a morbidly beautiful and kind soul. She's everything I dream to be, she's what I want to be, she's enjoying life, she's someone who was created to create. So when you ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? Does that answer your question?
All right, thank you to all of our poets. Those were beautiful. Seriously, so good. That was all of the poets on the list. Now we're going to go into an intermission, and we have snacks on the side here. Snacks and drinks, if you would like to get a beverage, get a little snacky snack, you know.
Think about the people coming after you in the snack line as you're selecting your snacks.
So yes, we have our intermission now, and then we'll go into round two.
I'm really looking forward to round two. Thank you to all 15 with our sacrificial poet, to all 15 of our incredibly talented poets that are here tonight. If you're not familiar with the way the Poetry Slam works, all 14 of our round one poets received a score from our judges. We've taken those scores and with the power of math have ranked them from highest to lowest. We never know how many people are going to move into round two, but today, because we had one fewer than we thought, and because of kind of where the scores landed, 6 poets will be moving into round two today. 6 poets. But I have to remind you that the point is not the points, the point is the poetry. Yes. Every one of our teen poets tonight has just astounded us with your creativity and your bravery for leaving your guts up here on the stage. Thank you for sharing this part of you with us. Okay, as we move into round two, our incredible MC Jessie is... MC Jessie Miller in the house, who's also super involved in the Franklin Post and our associated student body. Thanks, Jessie. Jessie's heading off to PSU in the fall to study environmental science. Thanks for taking care of us, Jessie. I'd like to give it up for our two math geniuses, Dishman and Helen. Without these two, the numbers that the judges are putting up would just be squiggles on a piece of yellow paper. So thank you very much for interpreting those for us. And now, Jessie will be sharing with us the 6 poets who will be moving into round 2. This is the order that they will be performing in. It is in alphabetical order rather than in score order, because I just don't want you to get hung up on those numbers. And also because I just love the alphabet. It's a librarian thing. We can't help it. So we're gonna do our 6 poets. I failed to mention, Jessie reminded me at the beginning, and then what happens? So we just go off into the night? Well, that's true, but 3 of our poets, first, second, and third place, will be receiving cash prizes. It literally pays to write poetry. There you go. Our first place winner will receive $100 cash. Our second prize winner will receive $60, and our third prize winner will receive $40. Please pick that up from me next week. Is when that'll be. I don't want to send these kids out to the night with cash. I'll see in the night. I'll see you about that next week. Some would say more impressively and more importantly, our first and second place poets will go on to perform on the main stage at the Arlene Schnitzer Auditorium on April 25th. At the Firstlandia Citywide Poetry Slam. It's an incredible event. If you haven't had the chance to go, I implore you, you gotta go. It's the top poets from every high school in the Portland metro area that participates. It's several, far-reaching. The talent is just unparalleled. So, I'll get out of the way. Let's hear those 6 poets. A big thank you to our judges. It is really hard. They make it look easy, but it is really hard to put a numeric score on something as abstract as spoken word poetry. So thank you all very much for the work that you're doing here tonight. I'm gonna hand it over to Jessie. Thank you, audience. You've been an absolute dream to have here tonight. Thank you. It's always a delight to welcome you into our space and let you see what our students are up to, because they're really doing amazing things. So thank you very much. Here's Jessie. One last thing. Every person who is 18 years or younger gets a free ticket to Verslandia. I've already given our poets their free tickets to Verslandia. If they're going to Verslandia to do poetry, then of course they get to go for free anyway, and their families get tickets as well. If you are a Franklin High School student and you would like a free ticket to Verslandia, come see me in the library. It's this place. You can find me there most of the time. Okay, I'll see you and talk to you about that next week.
Miss Frazee. She's so adorable. I love her. No, really, like, she is just such a peach. I love her. Okay. We're going into round 2, okay? This is where, not intense, but, it gets more serious, because we're scoring, we're hearing new poems from these poets. It's just gonna get even better, We're just gonna keep on having fun. And I wanna give credit to all these poets again, because this is just so impressive to me. Like, I've tried to write poetry before, and I'm like, what am I even writing right now? So, round of applause for them, honestly. So impressive. Like, you have to be so busy. You have to be so busy just writing all the time. Especially for this, because you have to write 2 poems, right? That's what I'm thinking, because it takes a while to write poetry. And like, some would say, you're quite booked, right? You're quite booked, busy. I'll be here all night. Okay, anyway. Okay. Now to round 2, what you're really here for. Our first poet is Ava Anderson, herself. I'm so sorry. Okay. Our list is Ava, Emma, Iris, Perseus, Siddhartha, and Liliana. Now, do we start with Ava? Yes, okay, Ava, yes.
You snort when you laugh, air escaping too fast to part your lips in a grin, so instead it escapes through your nose in awkwardness, genuinity, and joy, paired with a humored grimacing. I wish I could bottle up that feeling, however fleeting, in a golden vial of intricacy, untapped, uninsecure, void of worry, happy. So when its crushing weight in my chest pulls my lungs to the floor with so much force, they burst and I can't breathe, moths eating holes in my memories, down to a straggling piece of a dream, that golden vial can mend everything, stitch by stitch, seamlessly, until I can't tell there's worry. Just joy. Like 11 p.m., we're taking photos of the stars, city lights on the water, the soft hum of cars, plodding down the dock as far as we dared, afraid for someone to catch us, jump in unprepared. Spoiler alert, it was public access. But still, the exhilarant feeling keeps a grin plastered on my face as we drive home in the dark. In December, we talked until 1:09, the oven stick-like green figures reflecting the time as candy cane remnants boiled on brownies as distraction made the edges a little too crispy. In February, midst of that gray dole, after Valentine's rides above the floor, the sun paints the skies with brilliant blues, the rain coats the world in sparkling hues. I shockingly love this weather. I'll watch raindrops race down the windows forever like a child cheering their favorite one on. I'll watch as they form constellations of stars. Fast forward and I'm screaming in my car on the first sunny day in March. The cherry blossoms have begun to start blooming and my excitement is overwhelming. We're wearing sunglasses and stockpiles of shorts. It's barely even 64, but we insist that we aren't cold because we finally grabbed a hold of a bit of sun. It feels like joy. Like when you grab hold of my hand, pull me up the side of the mountain to watch the colors paint the sky goodbye to the day. And I say, giggling makes my heart sing, a melody it's worth following, writing poetry on the bedroom floor, laughing so hard my face hurts. People watching in the airport drinking hot spiced chai when it's cold, and we don't hug, but you hug me so tight. And at night, driving fast with music on blast, it rattles my bones through the stereo, laughing so hard my face hurts. Happiness exists in moments like this, even when it doesn't feel like it. You never know what the future holds, the jokes, the laughs, the people, the joy, an intricate vial of sparkling gold. Are all of these stories told? I'll chug it when the weight in my chest finally falls to the floor, and I can't breathe. These memories of being happy and laughing will mend my worries stitch by stitch until there's nothing left but joy. Like when you laugh too hard, you snort.
All right, thank you, Ava. Next is Emma.
This is called To My Younger Self, and this is how I imagine my future as an older person. Turning back the pendulum towards time in its haunting flight, a balcony of sun-kissed waves, or the pure hope of discovery. Leaving home can make me sad, but I chose freedom anyway. Rewriting passages of long-lost words, or getting turned down by others. We watch the brave sages struggle and weep on the battleground of a history play, saving solace, dreaming hope. We think of second chances and new opportunities that we never sought before. Locked up in a cage of darkness where distance heals the soul, visions of love, loss, played towards a lovesick melody, words aboard the mast of a great ship, sailing on a sea of longing desires. But what if I could fold this thought into an arrow and send it back into the past? I'll send my love to you, younger self, wishing you could hear my words for once. Dear younger me, you need to know that we all go through blood and sweat to know who we are to be. It's okay to learn from your mistakes. It's okay to grow and change. If people laugh or judge you, just be you. Don't be cruel. You know who you want to be. Just wait and see. Dear younger me, leaving is hard and thrilling. I am where I need to be. I commanded an army of scribes and warriors at the golden streets of hope. Lines of tongues, scriptures, music bring forth a feather of light, shattering the glass for a Napoleonic tale. The people you meet may not accept who you are, but love them still as a half-mask hides the silent phantom in the vast sea. Dear younger me, if you forgive lost memories of a thoughtful past, please think of me. Don't hold on to past mistakes and stain obtain delivery or rewrite history. Be free, free to live a world of peace and harmony. Dear younger me, please listen to my plea. It's best to know this older me with wisdom, wit, integrity. I've been through so much that you can learn to trust in me. You can make it here, just see. Just always look and heed my words. Goodbye is not forever. I'll see you soon. I love you forever, dear younger me.
Thank you, Emma. I just blinded myself by looking at the sunset, so maybe that's why they tell you to wear the solar glasses. Anyway, our next poet is Iris.
They announced the order, and I was still unprepared. This poem is called Childhood. Last month, on a counter in a coffee shop, a poster appeared where posed in print stood a boy who I grew up with. The first time in years I had seen him, this foreign inky image bled into the image of who I had known. Battling his peach-soft complexion with sharp angles and years of tension, his callow limbs now spread wide as he danced toward manhood. There is good in growing, but there is loss in the softness that is misplaced. This is what I saw when I studied his face, a reminder and a question: how do we forget the pace of our curiosity, the persistence of our beating hearts as they weave through the parts of us that we had not yet learned not to love? When I was 5, the colossal thing on my mind was how fast and how far can I run? How much longer can I revel in the sleepy light of this day before it is done? Mama, don't make me come inside yet, because if I raise my hand to the sun, I can pass out light and and warmth before I leave. Just one more round of make-believe. When do we stop believing that we are boundless? When do we learn to look in the mirror and see the absence of joy? When does imagining become a weapon of regret instead of a toy? And if looking at this boy on this poster, because his body has done what all bodies do, I cannot recognize him, will he too not recognize me? With my skybound legs and my whitened hips, have my lips forgotten to speak softly? Have I lost my softness? No, not lost, because I wanted so bad to be liked instead of loved, that though they were taught, I sought out the restrictions and beliefs that became a battalion of brutality against the body of a little girl. They taught me what to wear and what to eat, what to let the warden of my mind lock away, and what to speak. If I have lost my softness, then I am not innocent in that deprivation. I must crawl on my hands and knees to mend the mutilation of my spirit. If there is goodness in growth, then it will be found in my return to the girl who noticed the canyons carved by earthworms in the dew, dancing on the lawn, the girl who for 6 years made Valentines for everyone, hand-drawn, the girl who for every ounce that I am not proud of me, be proud of myself. So I want to spend the rest of my life making sure she has a reason to be, place my actions in the absence of regret, protect and project that light I once found so easily. As it weaves through the parts, I will start to love again. I will try mercy and bind myself to it so I can remind to be kind to my grown self, to all of us, the grown children who are simply learning and unlearning and learning again. I will not only find, but create in all of my movements inventions of gratitude to defeat those apathetic ruts, create this necessary softness, the infectious goodness of growing up.
Thank you, Iris. Our next poet is Liliana.
This poem is called Not Everyone Will Like You. Not everyone will like you. That is one of the most difficult facts I've had to digest in my entire life. Not my parents splitting 2 years ago, not that in 3 years I'll be an adult, not that in 4 years 5 friends have stopped talking to me for reasons I can't explain, not that I started going to high school 6 blocks from my house after being homeschooled for 7 years. No, not everyone will like you. Maybe try and change myself. Be pretty, but not so pretty that people get intimidated and not talk to me. Be funny, but not a loud kind of funny that might be annoying. Don't talk about my interests. They're also weird and uncool. Not everyone will like you. Make my talk different. Every interaction a reflection of the person I'm facing. Tell me about yourself so I can know how to act like you. I'm sorry, I meant act around you. I just mean I want to know about you. Not everyone will like you. I'm scared you'll judge me, so maybe just spill all your secrets to me first, and then I'll get a feeling how to talk to you. Not everyone will like you. After all, my teenage brain is wired to question everything about myself from age 12, so at least we have that in common. Not everyone will like you. I'm scared to act like myself. Yet here I am, spilling my guts to all of you. Pretty cool, right?
Thank you, Liliana. Our next poet is Perseus.
The worms come up when the rain falls down. My hands fly up and your eyes look around. The concrete is littered with pink, mangled bodies. The walk trodden by people with their toddies, hurrying to find shelter from the rain, while the worms soak, breathe, and are slain. Earthen fingers emerging from the ground, welcomed by trampling when they are found. Soft, aching fingers, what remains gently lingers. Pink bodies on the floor. Who could ask for any more? Sorry. I find myself stricken as the roads they slicken. Tears falling through the air, people walking to their next affair. Why, oh why should anyone care about the worms falling out of their hair? Dirt, scalp, little eruptions. No need to cause disruptions. Squish them flat as you walk past, not even a gaze cast towards those little creatures laying in ruin. Perfect for stepping your shoe in, while the dirt and water are brewing, and the sad children are cooing.
Thank you, Perseus. Our last poet is Siddhartha.
This is called Speed and Patience. When I was younger, my dad would always tell people, I wish you speed and patience. To the bus driver or the food cart owner, to the dog foaming at the mouth behind the fence, but never to my mom. Because mom already did speed and had the patience to stay away. I hear I love yous, but only once every couple months and only over the phone. Because even though I'm right beneath you, that's still too out of the way. Mama, come back. I don't want to be in that shed with you, looking for your mind while I count the time for you. Soon, kiddo, soon, you'll say, stacking the box onto itself, but you said that 34 boxes ago. I'm lost in the twists and turns of these dark, windy roads, even though we've been down them so many times. I'm scared of your love, but I want it more than anything. Mama, help me out. It's Mother's Day, and I'm in 3rd grade, bartering with the teacher because I don't know what to put on my card for you. I can't even put the word mother. You know you never came close enough for that. When I was 7, I knew how to get to the store and buy milk for us with the food stamp card better than I knew your face. I was able to count the amount of times I saw you on my hands and feet. Mama, pick up the phone. I don't know what to do. Why'd you have to be the reason I realized that poor people don't get the luxury of keeping the same phone number or the same job? How much patience does it take to not see your kid? Did it eat you up inside like the speed did? Never seeing me grow up and only seeing me after I decided I wasn't angry you left anymore. Just happy you're here for a second before I go back to being told to have speed and patience. I never learned how to be a girl and love my silky long hair or appreciate the sexism life presented me. I learned how to scrape my knees and show off the scar I left. I learned to climb to the very top of trees so I could see everything you never gave me.
The math geniuses say it does.
The results are in. But first, I just want to reiterate that all 3 winners are going to Verslandia. The 3rd place winner is going to be the alternate at Verslandia. So that's what Miss Frazee told me to say. Okay, now what you've all been waiting for. I think this is kind of short, okay. I'm gonna unhook it so I'm not slouching. Okay, in 3rd place, we have, do we want to do a drum roll? I feel like that's, okay. 3rd place goes to Siddhartha. Great job, good job. All right, drum roll for 2nd place. 2nd place is Ava. And the winner of $100 cash money that gets you 6 books at Powell's Books, 6. Iris Gray. Thank you so much, Poetry families, for coming. We want to thank the judges. Thank you, judges, for judging and being here. You're amazing. So all of this has been on video. The video will be available online. And thank you, Frank, from the PPS videography. Yes, thank you, Frank. And then I just want to give a big thanks to our house band. They've been such beautiful tunes. And little shout outs, we have Opal on the piano, Hunter on the trombone, Ren on the alto sax, Max on the clarinet, Alejandro on the drums, Min on the clarinet, and Livia on the guitar. And Aviv Ross on bass. Thank you so much. Yes, that's my whole list. Okay, thank you.